Mom's pearls. Mom's pearls. Mom's pearls. Mom's pearls. Mom's
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great episode of Mom's Pearls, where we discuss life's questions from a biblical perspective. I'm Brenda, and I'm here with my beautiful sisters, Leah and Yolanda. We are moms, and we are sisters in Christ. Hello, ladies. Hello, our viewing family out there. Welcome back to part 2 about love, everyone. Yes, we're talking about love today. And ladies, we're going to take it even deeper today. We're going to be talking about it, the relationship between a man and a woman. Woo, yes, we're going to go in there, folks. We're going to talk about it, be about it. As we all know, yesterday was Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And some people might have been happy with their gifts. Some people might have been disappointed in their gifts or not get a gift. Some people might not have had a significant other to celebrate Valentine's with. So they might have been mad about that, a little sad about that. Some people don't even celebrate Valentine's Day. So we're going to talk about how important is it to everybody? Did it matter? Does it matter? Who knows? What is Valentine's Day all about? You know, we should have love every day. So we're going to get in there talking about this love thing between a man and a woman. So Leah, why don't you start it off for us? Give us a little about what do you think it takes to make the love work between a man and a woman? What kind of people should we be?
That's such a good question, ladies, right? What kind of person does it take? So we today, I think that it's important to look at couples individually before they get in a relationship. Like we said, Valentine's Day doesn't affect just couples. It's not just for couples. It's
Right.
for single people are still in the world when Valentine's Day happens, right? Individuals. So it's important for us to look at that before we become a couple. Because at the end of the day, if I'm a broken person, if I've been through some real trauma in my life, or I've had some past situations that have happened to me that I haven't been able to resolve, then at the end of the day, I don't want to bring that into a relationship and think that I'm going to have a good relationship. I might be bringing baggage from Johnny, and then I'm bringing it in here with David, and I'm like, David, you just like Johnny. I knew you was going to be, you know how we do, girls. You know we do it all the time. So I think just at the end of the day, it's important for us to have, like, I love this is why this segment is so good to our part 1, to know that God is love and that he's the answer to everything that we need. At the end of the day, he loves us, flaws and alls. So when we understand that God is love and that he is our total provision and that we are perfect just the way we are because he's made us that way, then we're able to heal and we're able to recover and we're able to be free in just being us. And that's how we want to be when we find our mate, because then we want that person to love us just the way that we are. And we want to be all of us and be available to love that person the way that they are, the way that God created them, and not some image from Johnny or from a past relationship or Becky or Susie that we, had in our minds. Like, I wanted him tall, dark, and handsome. If he comes any other way, I can't. He's going to come the way that God would have him to come. But we have to be in that place and we have to be ready for it. But that's just my opinion, y'all. Yolanda, what do you think?
Yes. You know what? I think it's so awesome that you mentioned that because I had that same experience before I got with my husband. So there was a time where this is gonna sound like I had daddy issues, but my dad wasn't around, and I knew there was some things I was harboring because of that, and I knew that I had to let that go because I didn't want to bring that same baggage into my next relationship because I had come to the conclusion. I was like, all right, God, I have reached this age in my life where marriage just isn't in the cards for me. So it's not going to happen. So when I met my now husband, I was like, Lord, if this is what you have for me, I know that I need to let some stuff go. I was in Afghanistan. I had to call my father. I said, you know what? I forgive you for all of that mess. Whatever you did, didn't do, what you were there for, what you weren't there for, I
Wow.
had to let it go. And it definitely takes some growth and some maturity and some introspection, looking into yourself, not always looking to the outside to have somebody or something fulfill you. The only thing that we should be looking to fulfill us is God. And He gives us the
Yes.
desires of our hearts. I'm sorry if it sounds excuse me, if it sounds like I'm preaching, but that was just my experience with that. And I love that you brought that out, because we have to know who we are and understand that before we go into another relationship, and know that the heartache that Johnny caused us, we can actually put that off on Sam and not even know it. And we don't want to do that. So we have to be able to break free from Johnny, get cleansed from that, and then move on with a fresh slate from Sam. And
Wow.
the biggest thing was that I, my husband and I, we were friends first. So we were in that, I guess, quote unquote, courting phase, or getting to know one another, not just hopping into a relationship like, oh, you my boo now, and I'm your boo, so we about to do boo things. No,
Boot up.
I have to get to know you, right? Boot up, and I actually like that. But
Me too.
it's the process of getting to know one another, to know what types of things you like, what you don't like. Do you like chicken noodle soup, or do you prefer beef soup, or whatever it is? Do you have a desire for children, or do you not have a desire? Do you have a desire to get married, or just the little things? What are your goals? That was a big thing for me and my husband. We're like, so what do you want to do with your life? Like, is this military thing it? Like, what are your goals outside of this? Is there college? Is there owning your own business, or what? Just genuinely getting to know somebody for who they are before you begin looking for passion or spark. Because if it's there, my experience is it's gonna be there.
No, very, very enlightening. Thank you, sister, for sharing that part about yourself, in the past with your dad. That is truly enlightening. Thank you for sharing, and never apologize for giving God's word. We always appreciate that. We thank you that. Leah, you brought up a good point. You know, you have to know yourself. Be true to
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Because if you're not, how can you love somebody else and be true to
Right.
somebody else? If you don't know you, you're still lost. You can't help the next person. Being a friend, I had the privilege of knowing my husband, us being friends for 7 years before we ever
Wow.
started dating. We're actually friends for 7 years, met him through a mutual friend, and we really became friends. I got to see him as a person before I started dating him. So when we started dating, then I learned the more intimate things about him. But before, I knew that he was a really nice person. He was a gentleman, all those great things, all those great qualities that I just look for in a friend. So then I was like, hey, how can I go wrong? You know,
Yeah.
we had the spark came. So I was like, hey, I'll take this walk. Let's see where it takes me, But thank you, ladies. That was so inspiring. All of you family out there, give us what you think about that. But right now, we're going to get ready, everyone, for the Pearl of the Week.
Hi,
Yay!
Mom's Pearls family, and happy 2022. Thank you so much for having me today for the Pearl of the Week. So, today's Pearl of the Week is to start you off on the right foot for this new year. 15, 15, 15. When you wake up every morning, you should get 15 minutes of sunshine, 15 minutes of natural light. That means open your windows, open the blinds, go outdoors with a hat on and a scarf because we've been having some chillier weather lately. Whatever it takes, 15 minutes of natural light. Then you should drink 15 ounces of water. So take a bottle of water, stand in front of your window, sip, inhale, exhale. 15 ounces of water. And the third 15 is for activity. I'm always reminding you to get moving and get active. So 15 minutes of activity, whether it's just some gentle stretches, whether it's a good power walk, whether you're walking up and down the stairs while you're checking your email and sipping your water, if you can coordinate that early in the morning, whatever works for you. Just remember 15, 15, 15. 15 minutes of natural light. Open your blinds right away. 15 ounces of water. Go ahead and start sipping. And then 15 minutes of activity. These are the best things for you to start your day. It boosts endorphins. It gets your mind focused, alert, ready to start working hard, kicking butt, and taking names, like I like to say. So that is your Pearl of the Week. I hope it helps. And here is to a wonderful 2022. Thanks. Back to you, ladies.
So that was great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Rachel. Rachel always gives it's so good, so good, so good. I really, really enjoyed that. Now, let me put this question out there because I know how I used to be. I know how I am now. If you're angry at your significant other, how do you act? How does the relationship work? How you get along with your husband if you're angry and the other person is not trying to be cooperative because they're angry at you? How do you work that out? Leah, why you got your down?
I was waiting for words of peace and calm from Yolanda because I'm sure she has the words that I don't. Go ahead, sister.
Okay, so how do you act when you're angry at your spouse? Now or prior to now? So I'll start in the beginning. Before I shut down because I have to think through, I have to process it, what's going on, and I'm mad and I'm having conversations in my head like I know he didn't do that. I don't know who he think he is. He got the wrong one today, baby. But now I've grown from that. I will, and my husband, he would tell me that I would be mean with my body language. Like I wouldn't say anything, but just my presence, I could just be so mean and I could be saying mean things to him without even using my words. And when I'm mad, there is no, oh, baby, I love you so much. Come here, let me give you a kiss. Let me rub your back. Absolutely not. You're good that we're in the house together still, that I stayed because I would leave. I would think, I don't need to take this. I don't need you. I was doing such and such on my own before we got together. And I am certain I can pick up where I left off. That's that mindset I will get into. But now it comes to the point where I can express it when I'm angry. I can say, hey, I didn't like when you did that. What you said upset me. And sometimes I might not be able to say it right away. I might have to take some time. And he knows that I need some time to process things before I can speak on them always. I'm not just a fly off the cuff because then I could say something mean. So I take time and I process it, but I do let him know that I wasn't happy, that didn't set right with me. Your intentions may have been one way, but the way I received it, the way I heard it didn't sit right with me. And so we would talk about it. I know it sounds lame and cheesy, but that's where we are now. We can talk about it.
That's
and
great.
We can move past. And I do still cook. We have 3 kids. I do still cook and I do prepare enough for him even when I'm upset. And so it was definitely what is it? Growth and maturity to get to where we can just have a conversation about the good things and when we're not happy with one another.
Yes. It's for me, it's growth, maturity, and God that has got me to this point where I can actually discuss it. I don't go crazy and berserk and just be like, I'll sleep it on the couch and I'm not cooking, because I started thinking like, wait a minute, I want to eat too, and I have this whole meal plan and this food is defrosted. It's like, so I'm going to go ahead because this is what God is like, well, you still do that. I had to learn that though. You still go ahead and do that. And I go and I get in the bed And now I know when to be quiet. Just don't say nothing.
Oh,
Like you said, Yolanda, let it process to when you're in the right mindset to speak about it. So it comes out in a good way, not in a bad way, because we're still supposed to be gentle, even though, we're not happy, but we're expressing ourselves. So we still should do it
right.
as in a good way as possible. But then too, when I don't talk, I call it no talk. So he's
Uh-huh.
a no talk, and he's she mad. Oh, she not speaking at all. She walking around here like I'm not even here. Oh, this is not good. Okay, so what I got I gotta make, so then he really steps in to help smooth it over. Then we talk about it, discuss it, But that doesn't happen often because usually our spats, we get over it really quickly. Those are for the
Mhm.
ones that really get to me. Oh,
Yeah.
it's a process. But Leah, you looking like this not good at all.
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to discourage my family. I want my family to keep being uplifted. Like, girls, keep cooking those meals, washing clothes, coming with the communication, and I'm gonna try to get where y'all at because I'm telling y'all, like any given Sunday, my husband said to me last night, he was like, "I'm not gonna ask you that question." Because I want us to stay right where we are. And this was my response. I was like, so does that mean if you ask me that question any other day, like it will be a problem? Or are you trying to bring a problem right now? Like,
Y'all
Ooh,
see
I'm
that?
like,
Y'all see it?
you
She
see
ready
that?
to
what
She
we
go.
ready.
what,
She ready to fight,
what we
y'all.
doing? What we like? What you got to say? What you want to ask me? Like, what we talking about? Like, is it intentional? Are you being? Oh my goodness, I could go down that whole road, but I won't. God has a lot of work to do. So I would just say I am totally not there yet, family. Y'all pray with me, pray one for another. That's what the Bible says. Pray one for another.
Yes,
So let us do that.
absolutely.
But I will say just one of the things that I think that helps me to diffuse, because sometimes it's like, oh, just light a candle and she's gonna blow up. Absolutely. So one of the things that helps me to diffuse in my marriage is just to remember that at the end of the day, that's not how I would want to be treated. Like, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I do get caught up in my marriage thinking like,
True.
Leah, she pretty girl. I married that girl any day of the week. Like, no, 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 no. Like, I still make bad choices. I really do still do things wrong. And I want him to be accepting of even those moments. I want him to be forgiving. I want him to love me through it. I don't want him to be in my face like, you should have da 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 da. You was this. Like, I don't want him to do that to me. And so that being said, my response to when he does things that are wrong or things that make me angry or things like that is sometimes, like I said, not every time, probably not most of the time. If I keep it 100 with my family, we're not gonna worry about these ladies with my family, okay? Is that at the end of the day, I just want to treat him the way that I would want to be treated. And so I just have to
Yes.
remember, like, yeah, right now he's in the doghouse, he did it wrong, he did it, da, 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 but next time it might be me. So how do I want him? Do I want him to have some grace? Do I want him to be forgiving? Do I want him to still be open to having conversation with me, to still love me through it, through that moment? Yes, absolutely, I do. So I got to treat him the same way, but it don't hold, it's a good concept. It might not hold every time.
You
And
know what?
with you saying that, Leah, I have a scripture here, Ephesians 5:25. For husbands, and this goes for wives also, this means love your wives love your husbands, just as Christ loved the church. He
Mhm.
gave up his life for us. We have to love each other like that. We got to give each other grace.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. We fall short. Like you said, every
Yeah.
given Sunday, like Jeremy said, we can make a bad decision or choice, and we don't mean to do that. So that's real talk right there.
That
Real talk.
is. That
It
is.
it, it
That
really,
is.
really is. Now, another thing I want to question for all of you. We got married, we're younger. We weren't all in the you're so crazy, Leah, in the committed relationship with God, say where we're at in this walk. And we're in the church in front of everybody, and we're all pretty and he's all handsome. And then we say, we do this in front of God, family, and friends. Do we really follow that? After service is over and we get back to the real lives as a married couple, do we use God as a basis for our marriage and dealing with our marriage? Do we do that? Oh, wives, be submitted to your husband. Because I know me, I was like, sorry, y'all got to cut that part out. I don't want that in there. He's not gonna tell me what to do. Or I'm not submitting nothing to him. I do when I want to. He can't tell me what to do. I'm grown. Shoot, I'm not no kid. What that really meant. What it really means, it don't mean, he just is my master and I do as he says and I'm his slave. It has a true meaning. It's working with him, helping him, being there for him, listening to when he has an opinion on something and I'm just saying, no, well, I want it and I want it this way, and listening and letting him guide us and what's best for our family. How, what do y'all think about that? What y'all thought about that whole submission thing when you get married?
Well, I think at the basis of it, does the Bible speak to relationships? So the answer from me is yes.
Yes.
The Bible speaks on the full gamut of relationships with your parents, with your children, with your spouse, with your neighbors, with the homeless, the widows, all of that. The Bible it speaks to all of those different types of relationships. So as a foundation, yes, we should go to the Bible for all of that, because that's where it all was laid out. That's where the beginning was made, and that's where the end is prophesied. So what better place to go to than the Bible? So yes, it does speak on relationships, and yes, there is that word submission in the Bible from the wives, but the men are also to love their wives as God loved the church. So, and understanding that love is the basis of all these relationships that God has created. That's why he created a garden out of love. He wanted that relationship. He wanted that bonding with us. So with that, you have to always love your spouse and know that it's okay to get upset. I wanted to say this in the last segment, but we had to move on. But anger is a natural emotion. It happens. Yes. You cannot stop yourself from getting angry. But what you can control is your reaction to the anger, is your reaction, how you respond to your spouse out of your anger. We are always to respond in love. No matter what we're feeling, we still have to respond out of love. And so that is also how we esteem our spouse, esteem others above ourselves, is to continue to love how we want to be loved. And being angry is not a sin. It's not a sin. It's not wrong to be angry, but it's wrong to act in that anger. It's not wrong to act out of love. I really hope that makes sense, that we have to always respond with love. We have to always respond with love.
Yes. In the Bible tells us and shows us how to put our spouses first. Because that is love. It's selfless. It's unconditional. We give it our all when in this marriage. And hopefully it should be vice versa. I feel I'm not going to be happy with my husband all the time. There's going to be times that he has really pissed me off. But one thing, I still love him. It's not, because you pissed me off or you did this, how could you do that? It doesn't mean, now I don't love you. No, because if that's the case, then I should have never married you. Because I'm in it for the long haul, knowing that it's good days and mostly good days, but there's some bad struggling days, that come in between. I still love you. And because I love you and I know you love me, because I'm not no walk in the park either. He has to put up with me. We're going to do this. We're going to work it out. We're going to figure it out. We might need a minute to come back to the table, but this is what we're going to do because we love each other unconditionally. It's not about, hey, you pissed me off right now and I'm done with you. Like, no. And that's what people need to realize when you're going to go into this marriage. It's about love. Did God send you this person? Did he put y'all together? If he did, then you look to him to guide you through this. Yeah, I want our viewers to know it's not easy, but with God, you can get through it all. Just go to Him. He's going to direct you. He's going to send you through. He's got you. He's got you. Leah, you've been real kind of a little quiet.
No, I think it's so important. I think just one thing to remember about it all is just at the end of the day that God is love and that God has
Yes.
everything that we need. When we get in these marriages, you're talking about long-term commitments, probably longer than anything else that we'll do in our lifetime, right? Outside of our children. Okay. So these are long-term commitments, and there are going to be so many opportunities for compromise. And we don't like that word because at the end of the day, that means I don't always get what I want. And a lot of people don't stick around when they don't get what they want. So one thing you have to really consider, that's why I'm telling you, ladies, it's not something you want to jump into with everybody. Like Yolanda said earlier, it takes time. You really want to spend your time getting to know that person. And like we said at the beginning, it's about knowing who you are. That's the most solid and best place to start because you'll know that'll keep you from moving back and forth and being moved by every situation that comes up. So just remember, you're gonna have to compromise in marriage, but as long as you keep God in the middle, like we show our triangle going up, as long as you keep God in the middle, honey, these marriages will work out for your good and bad. I know that much.
Good, real talk,
so
ladies.
true.
Real
That's
talk.
so true.
Oh, I love it. This is great. Now, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, ladies, our viewing family. We are getting ready to do the question of the week. Yes. Well, our question today is, what American poet was an African slave, devout Christian, who was taught to read by her master? Our choices right here. Oh, no. Should we give the choices?
Yes, we most definitely should give the
Okay.
choice.
I was gonna let y'all linger, figure it out for next week, but I'm gonna give y'all some choices. Constantine Cullen, Maya Angelou, Langston Hughes, Phyllis Whitley. So next week, everybody, you come back and we'll have the answer to the question. We want our viewing family to put down, what you think, who you think, what the answer to that question was. And we'll come back to you with the answer next week. You might have the right answer.
I think I know. So give me your answer so I know if mine was right.
Yeah, I think I know too. I think I know. So, ladies, do you know the answer to the question from last week?
Question from last week? What was the question from last week?
For last week? Does anybody remember what our question was for last week?
Do I remember it? Absolutely not. But I have my little handy dandy paper here that I can read it from. So the question from last week says, can or does God answer unspoken prayers? Answer.
Come on, Pastor's wife.
Oh, what? Pressure.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Yes, she did. She called you out.
Well, my answer is yes. I'm going to say yes. He answers those unspoken prayers. There is nothing that God cannot do. So I'm not going to limit God by saying, no, he cannot answer the unspoken prayers, because I'm not limiting God. He is able to do exceedingly above all we ask or think, according
I agree.
to his will. So I'm saying yes.
Yes, I agree. God knows our hearts. He knows what's in our hearts. So he already knows. He knows. And a lot of times he's answered those prayers for us before we even knew that we needed it. So I am totally in agreement. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He is all good. He's all knowing. If he's all knowing, how can he not know? What do you think, our viewing family? What do you think? Do you agree with what we agree, what we said? Do you think, yes, that he does know? Let us know. Hit the comments below. Yes. Oh, that was great. Thank you, Preacher's Wife.
That's calling me out.
Yes. Oh, yes, we will call each other out. I love it. I love it. I love it, ladies. That was just great. That was fantastic. What a wonderful, wonderful episode we had speaking about love. And it was real. We all kept it real. We gave our real feelings. It was all, it's true. It's everyday life. We talked about Valentine's Day, what people felt about it, marriages, relationships between a woman and a man, being single or being married or thinking about that marriage life. What does it mean to you? How do you react when you're angry and the other party is not giving their all into the relationship? How do we respond back to that? How do we feel about being submissive? What does that mean to us? Did we get more clarity as time is going on? All of these things. How do you love one another? Is it unconditional? Is it selfless? Or are you in it for something for yourselves? What is it? Remember, though, God said, love one another as you love yourself, as He loves us. And that's what we're supposed to do. And every day, that's what we're supposed to do. Every day is not going to be a great day, but with God guiding you and you giving it to Him, it turns out to be good all the time. So next week, don't forget to come back next Tuesday to Mom's Pearls, where we answer life's questions from a biblical perspective. Mom's Pearls.